Good evening. Good evening to all. Today we are going to start the new topic, and the topic belongs to companies incorporated outside India, right? And this is the least important topic, but then too, examiner will ask a definitely 5 marks question from this sections overall. So, and under this topic, it is called foreign companies, right? In short, we can call this topic as a foreign company, so that from section 379 to section 393 deals with the concept of foreign company. It means if your company is a foreign company, in that case, you need to comply from section 379 to section 393 of the Companies Act 2013. And along with this section, we need to learn the definition of foreign company, and the definition of foreign company is prescribed in section 2 clause 42. And this section number of the foreign company definition you need to remember, because whenever they will ask a question from foreign company, first you need to write the definition of a foreign company right now. So before starting the section 379 to section 393, first we will go through the in-depth definition of the foreign company. So what they have mentioned, foreign company means any company or a body incorporated outside India. Now this is important. That is the company or the body corporate to whom we are calling as a foreign company, or the company which falls under the sections, that company should be incorporated outside India. This is the most important point. It should not be registered in India. Which first point, and both are plus points, right? First point is the company is incorporated outside India, and now A and B point. First point says that has a business place of business in India, right? Whether by itself or through any agent. Either they are doing in a physical mode, say for example Flipkart, say for example Pepsi, say for example Coca-Cola, or they are doing via electronic mode, right? They are providing the service of software services, or like they are doing the Amazon type business, e-commerce business. So law has clearly specified, like your company must be incorporated outside India. Say for example, Flipkart incorporated in Singapore, but they have a place of business in India, that is called in Bangalore. So that company is called as a foreign company, and for the applicability of foreign company, they need to comply the section 379 to section 393 of the Companies Act 2013. This is the first point. And after having the place of business in India, such company needs to conduct any business activity in India in any manner. It means if a company is incorporated outside India and they have a place of business in India, but they are not conducting any business in India, in that case, that company will not fall under the definition of section 2 clause 42, that is called foreign company. So for the applicability of foreign company, three things are most important. First is incorporated outside India, right? Second is good evening, good evening, Shriram. Right, first is incorporated outside India. Second is place of business in India, and third is they needs to do any business activity in India, right? This is most important. So for the definition, section 2 clause 42, we need to check out the three things. First, whether the company is incorporated outside India, yes, then we will go to the second phase. Whether the place of business in India, yes, then we need to check whether they are conducting any business activity in India. If all the 3 points are fulfilled, then that company we can call as a foreign company as per section 2 clause 42 of the Companies Act 2013. So this is the definition of a foreign company. Now elaborate little bit more. So they have mentioned electronic mode, right? Now what is electronic mode? Shriram, all the notes, all the charts which you are seeing in the screen, or the question bank or MCQs, they are already uploaded on portal, right? Okay. So that electronic mode is prescribed under the rules part, right? Under the rules part. So electronic mode means carrying out electronically based whether or not the main server is installed in India, right? This is the important thing. This is the important thing, right? This is the important thing. Like main server is located in India outside India, like server location is not at all important for determining the place of business, whether they are providing electronically or by physically. So this is the most important point, whether the server is located in India or installed in India or outside India. Examiner will ask a simple question. Viraj, good evening. Kaushiki, good evening. Okay, right. So server is located in India, outside India. That is not relevant for the purpose of determining whether the company that company has a place of business in India is providing their business via electronic mode, right? So server location is not at all important, because examiner will ask like A or B question. First, in the first question, they will ask the server is located in India. So whether the company is a foreign company, so we will write yes, this is a foreign company. Now, in the B part, they will ask what if the server is located outside India? In that case, also that company will qualify it as a foreign company. Now, electronic mode also includes B2B transaction, business to consumers transaction, accepting deposits, subscription in securities in India, financial settlement, web-based marketing, supply chain management, online services, telemarketing, education, information research. So that all services will, with whether you are providing by electronic mode, will be covered under the definition of a foreign company, right? Now, as per section, there is a section 386, right? That talks about the place of business. Now, if a company is having share transfer office or share registration office, say for example, Amazon, right? Amazon, they have established a particular office in the Bangalore side, and they, for this, suppose for example, I am a shareholder of the Amazon. Now I need to transfer my shares to someone else. For this, I need to prepare some documentation part. So law has clearly specified Amazon is not conducting any business, but they have a share transfer office. They are conducting business, plus they have a place of business as a share transfer office or share registration office. In the both the cases, that will be counted as a place of business. Third point, incorporation of company outside India by Indian citizens. This is the important point, right? Incorporation of a company outside India by Indian citizens will not fall under the definition of foreign company unless it fulfills the condition of section 2 clause 42. This is the important part which we need to remember. This is the definition of foreign company. So section 2 clause 42 talks about the definition of a foreign company. Now, okay, so this is the definition of a foreign company. No problem. Okay, so this is the definition of foreign company. Now move towards the theory part. So for theory part, I refer this module part, right? Our study material part. So the definition of foreign company is prescribed in section 2 clause 42, means any company or a body incorporated outside India, which has a place of business in India, whether by itself or through any agent, physically or through electronic mode, means whatever is the mode of that, there should be a place of business, and they are conducting business activity in India, right? This is the most important part. Just a minute, I can shift this. Okay. Okay, right. So this is the definition of a foreign company. Now, according to the company's rules, registration rules, what they have mentioned, electronic mode means carrying out electronically based, whether the main server is installed in India, outside India. We already gone through the charts, but not limited to. Means these are also included, and irrespective of this fact, many points will also be a part of the means. These all are not a kind of place of business. Many other things will be included in the part of place of business. For example, Zapak Limited is a shipping company incorporated in Japan. The company has set up a branch office in India, right? What they have set up? They have set up a branch office in India after obtaining necessary approvals from Reserve Bank of India. Branch offices are generally considered as a reflection of the parent company office. Thus, branch offices of a company incorporated outside India are considered as a place of business, right? This branch office will be constituted as a place of business for conducting business activity in India, and that need to comply the section 379 to section 393 of the Companies Act 2013, right? So this is the definition part which we gone through in this concept, right? Now, do one thing. We have a question part also, right? I think so. This is clear. Definition of foreign company is clear till now. Definition of foreign company is clear or not? If you have any doubt, let me know. Definition of foreign company is clear. Viraj. Okay. So this was the definition of foreign company. Now, whenever you are revising your syllabus with this foreign company, first of all, go with this section. And section 379 is most important. Examiner will ask a question from this part, right? Now, 379 talks about, this section talks about like section 380 to section 386, and section 390 to 393 shall apply to all foreign companies, right? Means these all sections will apply to foreign company. Simply from 379 to section, I have clearly mentioned 379 to 393, all sections are applicable to foreign company. However, central government may by notification in the official gazette exempt any class of foreign company from the applicability of any section, and this order copy must be laid down before both the houses of parliament. Till date, government has not exempted any specific companies, except some exemptions are provided to IFSC companies. And IFSC companies, they are doing business outside India, but they are registered in India. So then too, we are not calling them as a foreign company. Right now, this is the most important point. This is the most important point. Section 379 talks about this important point. What they have mentioned? When 50% or more of the paid up share capital, equity or preference or both is held together by, when 50% or more of the paid up share capital, whether in equity form or in preference or both, is held together by citizen of India or one company incorporated in India, or one citizen of India or one company incorporated in India. Means if suppose, for example, you and me both are holding share capital of a company more than 50%. In that case, now this is the most important point. Law has clearly specified, like for the applicability of foreign company, you need to comply 379 to 393. But for this concept, if your company falls under this criteria, means someone, Indian citizens are holding 50% or more of the paid up share capital or equity or preference or both, in that case, you need to comply all the sections of Companies Act as if the company was incorporated in India, right? This is the most important concept which you need to remember always, right? This is the most important concept. Now, such company shall comply with the provision of this chapter. Such company shall comply with the provision of this chapter and such other provision of the Act with respect to business carried on by it in India. Means you need to comply the Companies Act 2013 for all the businesses which you are carrying in India only, and you need to comply all the section, means from section 1 to section 470. When this situation will arise, when your 50% holding is maximum 50% is holding by whom? By Indian citizen, right? Indian citizen or by company incorporated in India or combination of both. In that case, that section 379 will apply, right? This is the most important concept you need to remember. Now, move towards the theory part from theory notes, our study material, application of Act to foreign companies. According to this section, section 379 is clear from the charts, or is there any confusion? Section 379 is clear from charts, or is there any confusion? Section 379 is clear from charts, or is there any doubt? Okay. So now from the study material part, applicability of Act to foreign company, section 380 to section 386, both inclusive, and 392, 393 shall apply to foreign companies. In fact, all companies, it implies that all companies, which means whole companies that will applicable. Yes, Kaushiki, suppose for example, if you and me both are holding more than 50% of the paid up share capital of the Coca-Cola Limited, in that case, Coca-Cola Inc., in that case, that Coca-Cola needs to comply the whole section from whole companies Act from section 1 to section 470. Right? Okay, Shira. Applicability, right? So it implies that all companies. Yes, not only, yes. I already told you, right? You need to comply all the sections of Companies Act, means section 1 to 470, including this section also. Okay, it implies that all companies which okay, so section 379 to section 379 to 393 applies to all the foreign companies. So this is the most important part. You need to remember this is right. Whenever someone is holding, whenever company or a citizen of India, if they are holding either single natural person or a citizen of India or a company incorporated in India, if they are holding more than 50% of the paid up share capital of a company, whether in equity form, preference form, or both, in that case, that all the sections of Companies Act from section 1 to 470, all the sections will apply in that case, right? Now, there is a next section. So that is, okay. So from this definition, from this, what we can say, module part, section 380, requirement of holding. Remember this thing, 50% for counting the 50% limit, either equity, preference, or partly equity, partly preference, all will be governed. This is the most important concept. Is held by one or more citizen of India, right? It is held by one or more citizen of India. So this is important point. Okay. One or more companies or body incorporated in India. This is second point. By one or more citizens of India or one or more companies or body incorporated in India means if they are holding individually or they are holding aggregate, in that case, that provision will apply. Whether singly or in aggregate. So law has clearly mentioned whether you are holding that percentage of capital is singly, means by one or more citizens, plus by one or more companies or body corporate, plus by one or more citizens, plus company incorporated outside in India. In all the cases, that provision of section, all the sections will apply. Such foreign company shall comply with the provision of chapter 22 and such other provision of the act as are prescribed with regard to business carried on by in India as if it were a company incorporated in India, right? You need to comply the law like your company is incorporated in India only. Note, chapter 22 referred to our deals with the legal provision for companies incorporated outside India, means that for foreign companies had prescribed a different chapter, that is called chapter number 22. Example, the shareholding of Imar Company LLC Limited Liability Company corporates incorporated in Dubai having a place of business in India is as follows. Hinduja Company Limited, Indian company holding 26%. Vaishali Company Limited, Indian company holding 25%. If you combine both of them, it will come 51. Remaining citizens of Dubai. So as per section 379 subsection 2, you need not to remember subsection 2, only you need to remember the 379. Imar Company LLC will also require to comply the provision of chapter 22 as not less than 50% of the shareholding of Imar Company LLC consists of body corporate incorporated in India. Imar Company LLC will also be required to comply with other provision of the Act as may be required, as may be prescribed with regard to business carried on by its place of business in India as if it is a company incorporated in India. So I think so. Whole section 379 is clear with respect to this point, right? If you have any doubt, let me know your doubt. If you have any doubt, let me know. Now, so this is our foreign company questions. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so first question is Mr. Zian, an Indian citizen. Who is this? Mr. Zian is a, just a minute. Just a minute, I can log in. Okay, so Mr. Zian is an Indian citizen holding 25%, of the I think so. Now video is clear, right? Janvi Agrawal, sir, as on which date the requirement of holding more than 50% is to be considered, right? Whenever you are holding the 50%, whenever the holding of Indian citizen exceed 50%, from that date you need to remember, you need to comply all the sections of Companies Act. Okay, I think so. Janvi, your doubt is clear. Shriram, video is okay now. I think so, right? Okay, move towards. So first question is, Mr. Zian, an Indian citizen, holds 25% of the paid up share capital of Laurel Steven Limited, a company which was incorporated in Singapore. That company was incorporated in Singapore, right? With a paid up capital of 10 million Singapore dollars. Okay. Swaraj India Limited, a company registered in India, hold 30% of the paid up capital of Lauren Stephen Limited. Lauren Stephen Limited has recently established a share transfer office at New Delhi. Now remember this thing, right? Zian is an Indian citizen. He is holding 25%. Swaraj is a company registered in India. That company holds 30% of that capital. So 25 plus 30% comes to 55, means now that company belongs to. Thank you, Prashant. That company needs to comply all the sections of Companies Act, right? This is the important point. Remember this 25%, right, and the 30%, both are included in this limit only, right? So now you need to write the answer in the examination in that format only. First, you need to mention the definition part in the first point. Okay. Now, then you need to remember, need to mention, and along with this, you need to remember section 379. No need to remember subsection 1 and 2. Only need to remember is, okay, perfect. It means if there's a query from Shriram, it means if more than 50% of the share capital of company incorporated outside India is held either singly or together by the Indian person, all the. Yes, Shriram. If more than 50% of the paid up share capital is held by either natural citizen person or a company incorporated in India by all of them in singly or aggregate, then you need to comply section 1 to 470 of the Companies Act, including the foreign company sections, right? I think so. Now, Shriram, it is clear, right? And chapter 12a, along with this rest of the section Companies Act, from section 1 to 470, what I have mentioned, all these sections you need to comply, because you are a foreign company, so you need to comply foreign company section also. Okay, so this is explanation part. In the giving case, in the question, the following facts are given. Laurel Stephen Limited was incorporated in Singapore. Okay, and as a place of business, that is called share transfer office in New Delhi. Hence, Lauren Stephen Limited is a foreign company as per section 2 clause 42, because we already defined the definition part before this question, right? Second point, its shareholding comprises 25% is holding by Zian, who is a citizen of India, 30% by Swaraj Limited, which is a company registered in India. Together, both comes to 55%. Hence, Laurel Stephen Limited is a foreign company due to the holding of more than 50% of the share capital by two Indian entity. It will be covered under the definition 379 and will be treated as a deemed Indian company, right? We will treat it as a deemed Indian company. However, it may be noted that under section 379, the application of Companies Act will only be, remember now, examiner will ask a simple question from your side. Suppose there is a company called Laurel Stephen Limited, right? That company is doing business in Germany, in Singapore, in India also. And Zian and that Swaraj Limited both are holding for 55% of the paid up share capital of that company. Now, examiner will ask, right, for the applicability of all the provision of Companies Act, you need to concentrate to which business. The company is doing business in India, or in Germany or Singapore, or all these, right? Important thing is you need to remember always business carried on by it in India. There's a B point mentioned in second line, business carried by it in India. This is the important point, not in relation to a business anywhere outside India, right? This is not at all important point. Now, under section 380 of the Act, a foreign company is required to file for the purpose of registration. We will go through this section also. Section 380. Okay. There is a second question, and this is a practice manual question. Examine with reference to the provision of Companies Act 2013. Whatever questions we are discussing, these are all past examination questions, right? First, a company incorporated outside India having a share registration office at Mumbai. Yes, that company is a foreign company. Indian citizen incorporated a company in Singapore for the purpose of carrying on the business. No. unless it fulfills all the criteria, right? Now, explanation, therefore, a company incorporated outside India having a share registration office at Mumbai will be treated as a foreign company provided it conducts any business activity in India. According to Section 386 of the Companies Act, place of business includes a share transfer registration office. Second, in the case of a company incorporated in Singapore for the purpose of carrying on the business in Singapore will not fall within the definition of foreign company. Its incorporation by Indian citizen is immaterial, right? Company was incorporated outside India, first point. Doing business, place of business in India, doing business activity. If all the three conditions are fulfilled, then as per section 2 clause 42, that company will be treated as a foreign company. In order to be, sir, there is a question, sir, only individuals and company of India can become shareholder in foreign company, or even other person like partnership firm, LLP. Partnership firm cannot become a member of the company. LLP can, right? LLP can. Company includes LLP also, Shriram. Okay. So I think so your doubt is clear, right? Next question, as per this section only, as per the provision of Companies Act 2013, what is the status of XYZ Limited, a company incorporated in London, UK, which has a share transfer office at Mumbai, obviously foreign company? I think so you all are getting the questions also, right? Let me know whether you all are getting questions or not. You all are getting the questions or not properly? You all are getting questions. These all are past examination questions. Shriram, your doubt is clear. Prashant. Sir, this is a contractor incorporation of a company outside by Indian citizen would be formed company as earlier said by you notes. There is a contradicting incorporation of a company outside India by Indian citizen. Read carefully, Kaushiki, read carefully. In the last line, we have mentioned unless it fulfills, just a minute, there is a doubt in the mind of. Remember this point, right? This is the important point. Incorporation of a company outside India by Indian citizen will not fall under the definition of foreign company. You need to, for the purpose of applicability of foreign company, you need to satisfy three conditions. First, that company was incorporated outside India. Second point, right? That company has a place of business in India. Third point, that company is conducting any business activity in India, right? If all the 3 points are present, right? Now you can read incorporation of a company outside India by Indian citizen. Obviously, that will not fall under the definition of foreign company if you have not place of business in India. I think so, Kaushiki, now your doubt is clear, right? Unless it fulfills the condition of section 2 clause 42, you must have a place of business in India. Okay, that's Singapore question. Okay, Singapore question. Okay, Singapore wala question. Where it is? This is a. Okay, a company incorporated outside India having a share transfer registration office at Mumbai. Okay, Indian citizen incorporated a company in Singapore for the purpose of carrying out business in. No, if an Indian citizen incorporated a company outside India, but they are doing business outside India also, then section 2 clause 42 foreign company definition is not complied, means that second point company, Singapore company will not be treated as a foreign company as per section 2 clause 42, right? Remember, in order to, last line, read the last line, right? In order to be a foreign company, it has a place of business in India and must conduct a business activity in India. Okay, Kaushiki, clear, sir. Now I missed that point. No issues. Okay. Janvi, there is a doubt in the case of more than 50% holding by Indian citizen and has no place of business in India. Then okay. So Janvi has a doubt, like if if a company is incorporated outside India and more than, say for example, 55% of that foreign of that incorporated outside India, 55% of the paid up share capital is held by Indian citizens. Okay, but that company is not carrying any place of business. So Janvi, in that case, that company is not treated as a foreign company. Incorporation outside, again I am repeating, for the applicability of section 379, section 2, clause 42, three things are important. First is incorporation outside India. Second is place of business in India. Third is business activity in India. I think so now it is clear, right? We discuss a lot about this section. Okay, but that is an important point, right? Examiner can ask a question from this also. Okay, so move towards further. Okay, next question is, as per the provision of Companies Act 2013, Janvi, your doubt is clear, I think so, right? As per the provision of Companies Act 2013, what is the status of XYZ Limited? Okay, that we already discussed. ABC Limited, a foreign company having its Indian principal place of business at Kolkata. Okay, ABC Limited is a foreign company. Foreign company means registered outside India, incorporated outside India. Principal place of business at Kolkata, West Bengal, is required to deliver. Okay, section, this is section 380. We have not yet gone through the section 380. So we will discuss later on. Okay, there is a penalty part. Okay, so now move towards the section 380 part. I think so 379 along with the definition part, right? These all are clear. Then we will go through the MCQs part also, right? Okay, so section 380 talks about list of documents to be delivered by every foreign company to ROC for a registration part. Certified copy of charter. Charter means the main document which shows your constitution of a company. Statute or memorandum of association, article of association in English language. Suppose your company was incorporated in Germany. Then you are not supposed to provide the documents to the ROC of India in German language, because ROC don't know even the English language. How can they interpret the document in German language? So law has clearly specified, if your document is not in the English language, kindly translate in the English language. Okay. Okay, so first point is certified copy of memorandum of association or article of association. Means these are the type of document, whatever means you need to file this type of document, whatever name it may be in your company, in your country, right? Second, full place of business, principal registered office, you need to provide that. Third, full address of foreign company office in India, you need to provide the Bangalore office also, right? D point, name, address of person resident in India that is authorized to accept document and notices in India. In case of foreign company, income tax also demand the same information. They want a person resident in India information. So in case of any default, government will catch that person only, right? E point, list of directors, secretary of the company and the particulars like this information you need to provide. Name, surname in full, father's name, mother's name, DOB, residential address, nationality, PAN number and each and every, and Aadhaar number also. Okay. F point, any dates of opening, closing, place of business in India earlier, right? You need to provide that also. Declaration that none of the directors are convicted. Like for example, as of now, Ford exited his business from India, right? Ford company. Ford, right? I think so. Yes. Ford or Renault, some company, right? Now, again, if that company needs to, again, comes to India for the purpose of business company, then they need to provide the F information also. Declaration that none of the directors are convicted, debarred from the formation of companies in India, abroad. You need to check the section 7, section 3 of the Companies Act and your act also. And other information as may be required, you need to provide all the information also, right? For the purpose of section 380 applicability, you need to provide that document to the ROC registration part. Theory part. Study material, go to study material. Okay, so section, this is your section 380. documents, etc. to be delivered to registrar by foreign company, section 380. So according to section 380 of the Companies Act 2013, every foreign company shall, within 30 days of establishment of place of business in India, deliver to the ROC for registration. First point, MOA, AOA copy. Second point, full address of registered or principal place of the company in outside India. Third, list of directors, secretary of the company. You need to provide that information. Such particulars may be prescribed. In relation to the nature of particulars to be provided as above, the Company Registration of Foreign Company Rules 2014 provide that list of directors, secretary, equivalent by whatever name called foreign company, you need to provide that sequence of information also. The name and address of the name and addresses or the names and addresses of one or more person resident in India who is authorized to accept on behalf of the company service of process. The full address of the office of a company in India, which is deemed to be the principal place of business in India. You need to provide that information also. Particulars of opening, closing of, just a minute, what happened with this? Okay, particulars of opening, closing of place of business in India on the earlier occasion, you need to provide that information. Declaration that none of the directors has been debarred from formation of companies or incorporation of companies, from formation of companies or management in India abroad. Any other information as may be prescribed. Form, procedure, time for. Now this is important. According to the Company Registration of Foreign Company Rules 2014, the above information shall to be filed with the registrar within 30 days. You need to provide that information to the ROC in form number FC1. FC stands for Foreign Company 1. Okay, so you need to remember the form and the time limit. The application shall be supported with the attested copy of the approval from RBI under the FEMA, right? You need to remember that you need to take the approval of the FEMA authority, it's called RBI, and such other regulators if any approval is required by such foreign company to establish a place of business in India, or a declaration from an authorized person of such foreign company that no such approval is required. Office and where documents to be delivered, you need to provide the document to there. Delivered to the registrar shall be delivered to the registrar having jurisdiction over New Delhi. So in that case, you need to provide the information there. It shall be accompanied with the particular fees. You need to provide fees also. Government will not accept without the fees. And this is the theory part, okay, of section 380. Okay, so now, this is our, okay, this is our, chale. So this is our section 379. We gone through the section 379. These are the few more questions of section 379. Okay. So now moving towards the next question. Section 379 is quite important part. Remember this thing. And along with the section 379, you need to mention the 380 point also. Right? Okay. Document to be delivered to registrar by foreign company. Question first. State the document that this is a straightforward question. State the document. You need to provide list of document that foreign company needs to be delivered to the ROC in form number FC1 within 30 days, right? DJ Company Limited incorporated in Singapore desires to establish a place of business at Mumbai. Okay, you being a practicing CA has been appointed by the company as a liaison officer for compliance of legal formalities on behalf of company. Examining the provision of Companies Act. You need to examine the provision of Companies Act for compliance of legal formalities on the behalf of company. Examine the provision of Companies Act 2013. State the document you are required to furnish on behalf of the company on the establishment or place of business in India. So you need to mention the section 380, all the points like MOA, AOA copy, full address of registered or principal place of the company outside India, List of documents of secretary of the company, you need to provide all the points, right? And this is also same type of question. June 2009, a company incorporated in Singapore has established its principal place of business at Chennai. State the documents, again the same points, within 30 days in form FC1, you need to provide the documents part. Okay, so now there is a MCQ part. So can we start? Can we do the MCQ part? Can we do the MCQ part? Yes or no? Can we do the MCQ part? Okay. So first question is foreign company means any company or body corporate or incorporated dash which has a place of business dash whether by itself or through an agent physically or through any electronic mode or conduct any business activity in India in any manner. So A, B, C or D, which option is correct? I think so. This is the simplest one also, right? So A, B, C, D, which one is correct? 1B, 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 1B. Shri Ram, Companies Act 2013, whatever that there is a change of section. Shri Ram is a question. Sir, you are showing the question of 2009. Companies Act arrived in 2013. So how is it possible? So there is a change in section. There is no change in concept. So that question is also relevant. Examiner will redraft this question. Don't worry. Okay, so B is correct in the first question part. Okay, section 379 MCQs dash section dash shall apply to all foreign company 380 to 386, section 390 to 393, C option both A and B, D option 380 to 393. So which one is correct? Question second. Question second. C is correct, right? 382, 386, 392, 393. That all applies to all foreign companies, right? So question second, C option is correct. Now, question third. 60% of the paid up equity capital of ABC Inc. is held by 10 Indian citizens. ABC Inc. shall, in respect of its Indian business comply with dash as if it is a company incorporated in India. Okay. So you need to comply what? Chapter 22 of the Companies Act 2013. Such provision of act as may be prescribed by the central government, both A and B, and none of these. Correct is Kaushiki, in question number second, C option is correct. 2C is correct. 2C is correct, right? 2C is correct. Perfect. Okay. Now, so for question third, which one is correct? Janvi has mentioned C option is correct. Okay, yes, C option is correct, like chapter 22, and along with the provision prescribed by the central government. Now, fourth, if dash or more of dash of a foreign company is held, whether singly or aggregate by one or more Indian citizen or one or more companies or a body corporate incorporated in India, or one or more Indian citizens or one or more body corporate incorporated in India, then such a foreign company shall, in respect of the Indian businesses, need to comply the chapter 22 and other provision as may be applied by the central government. Just a minute, Viraj. 3C is correct, right? If you can check, the third question answer remains in fourth question only, right? Okay, so fourth, which one is correct? 51% the paid up equity share capital. 51% paid up equity share cap. Sorry. You need okay. 51% of the paid up share capital, whether equity or preference, partly equity, partly preference, 50% the paid up equity share capital, 50% the paid up share capital, whether equity preference, means 50% important or 51% important. Means suppose I and we both are holding 50.25%. Now, fourth D is correct, right? Fourth D is correct, means 50%, more than 50%, that is important. Means 50.01, that also remains the power. Okay, so section 380. Within dash of the establishment of place of business in India by a foreign company, it shall deliver to dash documents, information, form number dash, right? In how many days, to which authority, in which form number? Fifth question, number fifth, correct. What is the correct answer? B is correct, right? 30 days, registrar, FC1 form number. Okay, these are the theory questions. Okay. Now move towards the next section. Fifth B is correct. Perfect. Okay. Now move towards the next section, next part of this. Above information must be delivered to ROC. Okay, we already gone through the information from theory part. Okay. ROC having jurisdiction over New Delhi. Okay. Foreign currency which existed at the commencement of Companies Act 2013 and who have not delivered the document shall continue to be subject to section Companies Act 1956. If there is any alteration in the above submitted document, it shall be delivered to ROC within 30 days. Remember this thing, right? For the first time, you need to provide FC1 is the form number. For the alteration part, FC2 is the form number, right? Above document plus form plus attested copy of approval from RBI under the FEMA 1999 plus attested copy of approval from any other regulator. If no such approval is required, then you need to file the declaration that no approval is required. Note, as per Companies Registration of Foreign Company Rules 2014, if any foreign company ceases to have a place of business in India, it shall give notice to ROC. You need to provide notice to ROC. From this date of giving notice, the obligation of the company to deliver any document to ROC ceases if no other place of business in India. Means if you ceases to be a place of business, and this is the most essential condition for claiming to be a foreign company, right? Then in that case, you should not be again be treated as a foreign company. So that was the remaining part of section 380, which we already gone through the theory part and along with this chart part. I think so charts are useful for your studies, right? Accounts of foreign company. So section 381 talks about the accounts part. Every foreign company shall prepare and file with ROC a balance sheet P&L. You need to file the balance sheet profit and loss account in such form as may be prescribed, containing such particulars as prescribed, including attached such document as may be prescribed. You need to provide all the documents, all the information. Again, the same point. If any of this document is not in English language, you need to provide the translation copy thereof. Central government may exempt any foreign company or class of foreign company from these requirements. These copies of balance sheet, profit and loss shall be delivered to ROC in every year. You need to provide that copy to every year. Every foreign company shall prepare a list of all places of businesses established in India in form number FC3, right? FC1 is used for section 380 document list filing within 30 days. FC2 alteration. FC3 all place of business established in India, that information needs to be provided in FC3 as on the balance sheet date and must be filed with ROC along with the balance sheet. You need to provide this document, that information, right? FC1 first time, FC2 alteration, sorry, FC2, FC3 place of business information. I think so that this is clear, right? Section 381. Now, preparation of financial statement. under this section, there is a concept of preparation of financial statement. Now, this is important. Financial statement of Indian business operation shall be in the same form as provided in Schedule third to the extent possible, and document shall be filed within 6 months of close of financial year, right? This is the most important point. You need to file the document 6 months from the close of financial year. Extension, as maybe extension application can be made by FC if there is a justification reason for. All such documents as are required to be annexed to financial statement of a company as per section. There's a books of account section 128 to section 138 shall be annexed to financial statement of a foreign company, right? Extension, it may be granted by ROC for a maximum 3 months, right? All such foreign company relating to CFS means cash consolidated financial statement of a parent foreign company as submitted by a company in a country of incorporation. Your company was incorporated in, for example, Singapore, and you already submitted there, shall also be filed. Accounts pertaining to Indian businesses operation shall be audited by practicing CA in India or a firm or a LLP of a practicing CA. You need to provide that document. Shriram, already I provided the charts and already I provided the LCC portal of ICAI. So you can download this chart from there. Company shall also file along with the financial statement a statement with respect to related party transaction, section 188 of the Companies Act. If you can recall, repatriation of profit or transfer of fund, FEMA section 9, right? Repatriation proceeds 8 and 9 deals with this part. So this is Companies Act section, this is FEMA. Provision of Companies Act 128 to 148, along with the rules, you need to comply this also, right? Okay, so this is your section number 381. Okay, now move towards the theory part of 381. Okay, so this is your 381, accounts of foreign company, section 381. Every foreign company shall in every calendar year make out the balance sheet, profit and loss account in such form containing such particulars, including having attached to, annexed to such document as may be prescribed. Deliver a copy of those documents to the ROC. You need to provide the document to ROC, right? And the document you can provide, you can make the document as same format as applicable to your company as prescribed in Schedule 3. Documents that are required to be annexed shall be in accordance with the Chapter 9. Chapter 9 means 128 to 138 sections. The document relating to copies of latest CFS, consolidated financial statement of the parent holding company, which you filed with the outside authority, as submitted by its prescribed authority in the country of incorporation under the applicable rules there, you need to file that document also, right? This is the tribunal part. The central government is empowered to direct that in case of foreign company or a class of foreign companies, the requirement of clause A giving above shall not apply or shall apply subject to such exception, modification as may be prescribed. If any of the specified documents are not in the English language, you need to provide the translation copy, right? Every foreign company shall send to the registrar along with the document. You need to provide the information within 30 days. Okay. FC1, FC2, FC3. FC3, you need to provide the business, place of business information. According to the company registration of foreign companies, whatever we are seeing from this study material, that already covered in the charts also, right? For easy understanding. In FC3, you need to provide, according to the company registration of foreign companies rules 2014, if any foreign company ceases to have a place of business, remember, if your company ceases to have a place of business in India, it shall forthwith give notice of the fact to the registrar, and from that date on with the notice to be given, the obligation of company to deliver any document to the registrar shall cease. It does not have any other place of business in India, right? So this is an important point. According to the company's registration of foreign company rules 2014, you need to provide related party information. repatriation of profit, transfer of fund, including dividend also. Right, and accounts of the audit section, the same provision will apply. Audit and auditors and rules are there under as applied to Indian company, the same will apply to foreign company also. So this is a section 381. I think so 381 is quite easy. Okay. Is there any doubt in 381? Every foreign company shall prepare and file with whom you need to file? Registrar. Section, the central government may by notification direct that in case of dash the requirement contained in 381 with respect to preparation, filing of balance sheet, P&L account shall not apply or shall apply to with whom government, none of these. 11th, okay. 11th, a copy of balance sheet P&L account shall be delivered to within 6 months. Sorry, B is correct. Within 6 months from the close of financial year. Okay, so I think so 9 ROC, 10 C, either A or B, right? And in 11th B. I think so that is clear concept, right? Okay, moving towards the further section. Section 382. Just a minute, we can check the question also. Is there any question from this section? 381. Okay, there is a question. Galileo Limited is a foreign company in Germany and is established a place of business in Mumbai. Explain the relevant provision of the Companies Act 2013 and rules made thereunder relating to preparation and filing of financial statement. Means this is a pure theoretical question. You need to write down the points only. Right? This is the pure theoretical question. If you can check the answer part. Okay, so from 381, they will ask a pure theoretical question, right? So no need to worry for this. Okay, so 382 is there, right? Now move towards the 382. Section 382 talks about the display of name, etc. of foreign company. Section 382. It is a duty of foreign company to exhibit its name. It is a duty of a foreign company to exhibit its name outside place of business, name of the foreign company, country of incorporation, and fact that your liability is limited. This is the most important part. You need to provide the 3 information. First, name of the foreign company. Second, country of incorporation. And third, that your liability is limited. This is the most important point. And this, all the information should be provided in English language only, or one or more local language. You need to not to provide in your foreign language. Like you can mention in the cursive part, like in Germany. No, that is not allowed. In bill, letter, etc. Name of the company, foreign company, country of incorporation, and fact that your liability is limited. This must be exhibited in all letter, paper, business letter, bill head, in all notices, other publication of the company in English language. So you need to provide all the information in that language only. So section 382 is quite easy part, right? That does not require any kind of excellence. Okay, so now move towards the 382 theory part. Every foreign company shall conspicuously, right? Conspicuously matlab, it means it should be and any person can see from anywhere. Exhibit on the outside of every place business where it carries on the business in India, the name of the company or the country in which it is incorporated. You need to provide that information in letters easily legible in Indian character, and also in the character of the language or one or more language in a general use, means in local language also you can provide that information. Second, cause the name of the company or the country in which the company is incorporated to be stated in the legible English character in all business letters, bill head, letter paper, in all notices, other official publication of the company. You need to provide that information. If the liability of the member is limited, cause notice of the fact that your liability is limited. You need to provide that information, your name of the foreign company, country of incorporation, and third, your liability is limited, and that information should be circular throughout the official publication. So that is okay, Shriram. There is a question from Shriram. Sir, generally liability is limited for all companies. Perfect. Then why it has been especially okay? Because you are a foreign company, so anyone outsider deals with your company. Any Indian citizen deals with your company. He should be aware that your liability is limited. If your liability is limited, if your liability is unlimited, then the public will deal accordingly, right? So this is a kind of prior notice also, or saving the other party also. That if you provided that your material, that liability is limited, you are not going to sue the company part, sorry, director part. Okay, so question part 382. The liability of a member of Style Limited, a company incorporated in Singapore, is limited. The company plans to start a place of business in Mumbai from 1st December 2016. It has taken an office space in Andheri West, Mumbai for that purpose. The person who is the take charge of the Mumbai office seeks your advice regarding the provision of Companies Act 2013 in respect of displaying of the company name, etc. at the Mumbai office, as well as a business letter and other document. Advise him with reference to the provision of Companies Act governing the foreign company part. Okay, so this is pure theoretical part again. Okay. Okay, do we have any MCQs over this? MCQs. Okay, extension. FC1. Okay, question number 14 is quite good. Every foreign company shall file with the registrar along with the financial statement in form number dash a list of all the places of businesses. Okay, so question number 14 is for you only, right? Which form you need to use? FC1, FC2, FC3, FC4. Which one is form? Which form is relevant for you? FC1, FC2, FC3, FC4. Which form is relevant? Don't worry. Okay, C, Janvi is correct, right? FC3 is quite important. Okay, the financial statement of the Indian shall be prepared in the form prescribed by the central government, in the form prescribed by NFRA section 132, in the form prescribed by the C&AG. No, this is not a government company, so in that case there is no concept of C&AG. In the same form as prescribed in Schedule 3, I can write the answer. D is the correct answer, in the form prescribed in Schedule 3. Okay, sir, when will the break? Don't worry, we will take a break. Every foreign company shall file with the registrar along with the financial statement. Okay, all of these, right? Every foreign company shall file with the registrar along with the financial statement. First, a statement with respect to related party transactions. A statement related party transactions, section 188 of Companies Act, repatriation of profit, section 8 and 9 of the FEMA Act, transfer of fund or dividend, we can say section 123 of the Companies Act. So answer is all of these. You need to provide all of these information. Okay, so section 382 MCQs we also have. Every foreign company shall exhibit outside every office or place where it carries on the business in India the name of the foreign company, the country of incorporation, and fact that your liability is limited. Such particulars should be conspicuously exhibited in legible English character, local language, both A and B, either A and B. Perfect, perfect. All are correct. Okay, so question number 17, which one is correct? Question number 17, which one is correct? Question number 17, C, Viraj bhai. C is correct, right? English language along with this local language. So both A and B, you need to provide in both the information, right? Okay. Every foreign company shall exhibit outside every office or place where it carries on a business in India the name of the foreign company, country of incorporation, factors limited. Now I will give the answer of this question. Answer is D, right? 18D is the correct answer. Anyone else? 18D is the correct answer. 18D is the correct answer. I can also give the answer, right? So you all can evaluate. So 18D is the correct answer. Anyone have different view with respect to answer question number 18? 18D is the correct one. Okay, Janvi, very good. Shriram, very good. Bye. Okay, so I am also correct. 19. Every foreign company shall exhibit outside every office place where it carries on the business in India, the full address of the principal place of business in India, the full address of the registered office or principal office of a company, the full particulars of the opening or closing of places of India on earlier occasion, none of these. Okay, correct answer of 19 is what you need to provide the information. The full address of the principal place of business in India, full address of the registered office or a place, principal place of business in India, particulars of opening, closing branches, what information you need to provide, exhibit outside the office. Remember, three points are there, right? 19D, all are correct. Perfect. Answer is correct because you need to provide three information: name of the foreign company, country of incorporation, and the fact is limited liability, right? Shriram, B is not correct. D is correct. Janvi correct. Kaushiki correct. Perfect. Okay. Now, question number 20. Every foreign company shall exhibit in the business letter, bill head, letter paper, in all notices, other official publication of a company in dash the name of the foreign company, the country of incorporation, life limited. These particulars shall be exhibited in. Okay, dash in the legible English character, legible character of one of the local language, both A and B, none of these. Okay, so this is your 2021 22. Okay. Okay, so now next section is 383. 383 consists of two-liner section. What is mentioned? Yes, 20C. Service of document in foreign company, section number is 383. Any notice, process, documents required to be served on foreign company shall be deemed to be sufficiently served if addressed to any person whose name its address was delivered to ROC under section, means that person should be authorized person in India. So you can mention the name of that person, and left by post to address which was delivered to ROC by electronic mode, right? This is the two-liner section, section 383. Okay, so 383 is, so this is your 383. Any process, notice, other document required to be served on a foreign company shall be deemed to be sufficiently served if addressed to any person whose name, address have been delivered to registrar under section 380 and left at and sent by him to post or delivered to the ROC or by electronic mode. Okay. So this is overall section 383. So we discussed section 379 along with the definition part, 2 clause 42, along with section 379, 380, 381, 382, 383. So now we will do one thing. So we will take our break of 10 minutes, then we will resume again for further discussion. Okay, so we are going to take a break of 10 minutes. By 7:25 we will resume again. Okay. So by 7:25 we will resume back again. Okay. So now again we are going to start the new section called 384. Okay. Do you have any doubt till from section 379 to section 383? Anyone have any doubt with respect to question, with respect to MCQs, or with respect to provision? All are returned or not? Okay. So is there any doubt from section 379 to section 383 in any question, in any concept, in any MCQs or anything? Form number FC1, FC2, FC3. We gone through the three forms till now. Okay, so now we are going to start the section 384. Now this section 384. Okay, so section 384 talks about debenture, annual return, registration. You said like section 379 to applies. So why we choose different answer? Different answer for what, Kaushiki? Different answer for what? Section 384 talks about debenture, annual return, registration of charge, books of accounts, and then inspection. Now, what is the logic of this section? Law has clearly specified whether your foreign company is issuing debenture, whether your foreign company is need to file to the ROC annual return, section 92, debenture 71, registration of charges, section 77, books of accounts, section 128, inspection, inquiry 206, and all sections. Correct. So, okay. So section 3, if you can go 385, because 387 deals with the prospectus part, right? Because all companies are not going to this dating of prospectus and all. So 387 prospectus part. And with this prospectus part, you need to take the approval of the consent. So section 380 is there, 388 is there. And accordingly, registration of prospectus 389, right? So these all are different sections. And 390, it's with respect to IDR. And 391, there is a section called misstatement in prospectus, 3435, that applies to there also, right? So means section 386 to 391, these are dealing with the prospectus part. Correct? So if a company is, Kaushiki, for you, right? If a company is issuing a prospectus, then they need to comply section 387 to 391. I think so now it is clear, right? And for rest of the sections, all companies need to comply the foreign company these sections, right? Now your doubt is clear, right? Okay, 384. So if your company is issuing debenture, you need to comply the section 71 of the Companies Act. That is that section 384 applies for that section. Your company need to file the annual return to the ROC. 92 will apply. 128 books of account, registration of charges 77 is there, and inspection inquiry 206 to section 229 of the Companies Act, that is also applicable in our syllabus, right? So this section you need to comply. Means foreign companies, if you are doing any of these activity, you need to comply that respective sections also. Now, there is a section called 135 CSR. Now, CSR deals with the, and it is mentioned including all companies, including foreign companies. So foreign company need to comply 135 also. Provision relating to CSR, section 135 are also applicable to foreign company as they apply to Indian company, subject to some exception modifications, right? So 71, 92, 77, 128, 206, 135, that all sections need to be complied by this foreign company. According to Rule 7 of the Companies Registration of Foreign Companies Rules 2014, Every foreign company shall prepare an annual return. You need to prepare an annual return in form number FC4. FC1 for, now tell me, FC2, FC3, FC2, right? FC4 for annual return. FC1 for, you all can tell me. FC1, FC2, FC3. FC1, FC2, FC3 form. That form deals with FC1, FC2, FC3. FC1 deals with the document needs to be filed, section 380. FC2 altered document, FC3 place of business, right? And FC4 annual return. Within 60 days of the last date of financial year, it should contain the particulars as on the last day of the financial year. You need to comply with this section. Now, FC1 docs, perfect caution, right? Now, there is a specific exemption kind of provided to IFSC private company with respect to applicability of two sections, section 92 and section 77. Provided that notwithstanding anything contained in the act, the exemption is provided for the purpose of operating from the IFSC International Financial Service Center located in an approved multi-services SEZ set up under the SEZ Act 2005 and the SEZ Rules 2006 shall apply same to a foreign company, means that provision will also apply to a foreign company also, which is a place of business on which conduct a business activity from the IFSC center located in a, means if any foreign company, means if any foreign company is doing business from the multi-SEZ area located for IFSC companies, right? So that you need to comply with. So this is your section 384. Now, 384 theory part is there, okay. Okay, the provision of section 71, the provision of section 92, preparation of filing of annual return, and section 135 CSR shall subject to the exception, modification, arbitration as may be made therein by the rules under this act applies to a foreign company as well. The provision of section 128, books of accounts to be kept by the company, registration of charges, the all section will apply to a foreign company also. So this is your section 384. Mansa, I am not getting a doubt. ESG reporting? Okay. Now question part. Section 387. Okay, so we don't have as such question of 380 and 383. We already gone through this. Okay, now moving towards the next section. 382, 384, 385. 385, this is the one-liner section. Prescribed fees must be paid by the foreign company to ROC while registering any documents. You need to fees whatever is prescribed under the act. You need to provide that fees to the ROC. Without fees, ROC is not going to entertain your. He will not touch your application also, right? Okay. So section 386 talks about the interpretation part and section 387 talks about the dating of prospectus. Remember one thing. Section 387 to 391, these sections are applicable to that foreign company who are going to issue the prospectus through or who are going to accumulate, who are going to issue something, right? Like they are going to issue the IDR part or shares through this prospectus part. Now, this section is applicable to any prospectus issued by a company which is incorporated outside India or is to be incorporated outside India, right? This is important. And for the prospectus part, we have a section 23 242 private placement, right, in C enter part. First point, no person shall issue, circulate, distribute in India any prospectus to subscribe for securities of a company incorporated outside India unless it is dated and signed. It should be dated and it should be signed by the concerned person only. It shall contain the details, namely law under which the company was incorporated, Indian address where document can be inspected by anyone before investing, date and country of incorporation, address of principal office in India, if any, instrument defining the constitution, means memorandum of association, article of association. Okay. Next. Now, if an Indian company wants to issue the prospectus, if an Indian company needs to comply, just a minute, I need to share. I think so. Now it is visible, right? Screen is visible or not? Screen is visible. Okay. So if an Indian company wants to issue a prospectus, then they need to provide all the information which is mentioned in section 26 of the Companies Act. So likewise, if a foreign company wants to issue a prospectus, then they need to provide all the information, whatever information is mentioned in section 26 in the prospectus part of foreign company, right? All the above condition must be compulsory complied with. Application form must be accompanied with the prospectus. This is a kind of average prospectus. This is a kind of average prospectus. Hope so you can recall, right? This is a kind of average prospectus. So you need to, for issuing the prospectus, you need to mention all the information and you need to comply the section 26 of the Companies Act. Basically, law talks about, like, you need to, for a foreign company, you need to comply section 379 to section 393. In between, you can exclude the prospectus part. Along with this, if you are dealing in the debenture, 71. If you are creating a charge, 77. Books of accounts, 128. Annual return, 92. Inspection, 206. In CSR, 135. Along with this, you need to comply this section also, right? So this is your section 387. Now, section 387 theory part, fees for registration. Okay, and like this is your 386, right? Interpretation part. It talks about the definition. What is certified? Who is the director? Place of business is what? Okay, so this is the 387. Prospectus to be dated and should be signed. No person shall issue, circulate, distribute in India any prospectus offering to subscribe for securities of a company which is incorporated or to be incorporated outside India, whether the company has or has not established, or when formed or will not establish a place of business in India unless the prospectus is dated and signed. It contains the following particulars. First is the instrument constituting and defining the constitution of the company, means memorandum article. Enactment or provision by which, under which the incorporation of the Companies Act was affected, means under which act your company was incorporated. Address in India where the said instrument can be inspected. Date on which and the country in which the company would be or was incorporated. You need to provide that information. Whether the company has established a place of business in India, and if so, the address of the principal office in India, you need to provide that also. And along with this, you need to comply the section 26 part also. There is a question. Mir Company LLC, a company incorporated in Dubai on 28th April 2017. Mir Company LLC has established in the year 2020 in Mumbai. They have established a place of business. Now the place of business in India proposed to offer subscription to securities of Mir Company LLC. Now the place of business in India, before going with the subscription, will have to file a prospectus, date and sign. And the prospectus shall not be required to contain the particulars mentioned in point 1, 2, 3 of A above. Right? Above, as the prospectus will be getting issued after a period of 2 years since Miss LLC, Mir Company LLC has commences business. So under the enactment and this all information 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 means the instrument constituting defining already that is provided, enactment already that is provided, and the document can be inspected, right? Now, this is the most important part. No waiver of compliance in prospectus. There is absolute no waiver. Any condition requiring or binding an applicant for securities to waive compliance with the requirement imposed under Section 387 or purporting to impute him with notice of any contract, document, matter. Sir, 2 years will be counted from the date of commencement of business in India or from the country of incorporation. From this one, 2 years for what? No, January. What they have mentioned that mere company need not to file one first point, second point, third point information. That company is already started its business in India, right? So in that case, you need not to provide, right? I think so. Now this is clear. From the incorporation date part. Okay, so if you are waiving any of these compliance as mentioned in 387(1) or purporting to impute him with a notice of any contract, document, matter not specifically referred to the prospectus, that shall be void. It is to be understood that Section 387 subsection 2 does not provide any exception with respect to the non-compliance with the requirement 387(1) by any person responsible for issuing or circulating prospectus. Form of application for securities to be issued along with the prospectus. No person shall issue to any person in India a form of application for securities of such a company or intended company unless the form is issued with the prospectus compliance of this chapter. Janvi, for this example, Mir I think so. There is some technical issue. Now it is visible, right? Okay. Now perfect. So this is issue from my side or from Zoom side? Oh, okay. I don't know why. Okay, so where we were, okay, 386, 386, 386. Okay, so you need not to provide that information because your company is already commenced your business in India, right? So this is the important concept. Because you already provided the information to the ROC. Now, form of application for securities to be issued along with the prospectus. No person shall issue to any person in India a form of application for securities of such a company or an intended company unless it complies with the provision of this chapter, exception. If it is shown that the form of application was issued in connection with the bona fide invitation to person to enter into underwriting agreement, that is allowed, right? In that prospectus section also, underwriting is altogether allowed. For this, you need not to comply the prospectus requirement. Section 387 subsection 4 further provides that Section 387 shall not apply to the issue of existing members or debenture holders of a company. In fact, that exemption is also available to the Indian companies if they are issuing any securities to the existing member or debenture holders of a company. Whether an applicant for securities will or will not have a right to renounce in favor of the other person. Except insofar as it requires a prospectus to be dated and to the prospectus relating to the issue in securities which are or are to be required specified uniform with securities issued previously. Except insofar as it requires a prospectus to be dated to the issue of prospectus relating to securities which are or are to be in respect of the respect uniform with securities previously issued, means you need not to comply the provisions of prospectus if you are issuing securities to existing person, right? So this is the basic concept, but subject to the aforesaid, section 387 shall apply to a prospectus or form of application whether issued on with reference to the formation of company or formation of the company or subsequently. So means if you are issuing your prospectus to the existing member, existing debenture holder, or existing to anyone, in that case you need to comply the you need not to comply the prospectus part. According to section 387, the provision of section 387 shall not apply to issue of prospectus or form of application relating to existing member or debenture holder. We already gone through this section, right? Sir, isn't section 387 subsection 2 and subsection 4 are contradictory? Why so? Subsection 2 talks about there is no waiver, means nobody else can waive. And subsection 4 talks about if your company is issuing securities to the existing member, in that case, you need not to comply the requirement of section 26. And one more thing, Janvi, in Companies Act also, like there is a section 23 to 42 deals with the prospectus part, right? If your company is issuing shares to existing shareholder, debenture holder, underwriter, in that case also you need not to prepare you need not to comply the whole section of prospectus. So same applies to here also. I think so. Now it is clear. Janvi, now it is clear. So there is no contradiction, right? Because you are not issuing to new one. Nothing in section 387 shall limit or diminish any liability which any person may occur under any law for the time being in force in India or under the Companies Act 2013, apart from section 387. You need not to comply. You need not to, there is no concept of limiting the liability of any person who is responsible for this act. Now, I think so. Now this is clear. Okay. So 383 questions we have. 387. Perfect, Janvi. Okay, 387, we have a question. Ashes Limited, a company incorporated outside India. 50% of the preference share capital and 20% of the equity share capital is held by companies incorporated in India. It issued prospectus inviting subscription in India for its shares, but did not state the country in which it is incorporated. Examine. Is the prospectus of the company valid? What other disclosures? We need to provide that, right? If the minimum 50% of the other foreign companies held by following, the provision of the whole companies that will apply, right? In simple terms, every foreign company incorporated to be incorporated can issue visible? Because getting so many times. Internet connection is perfect, Shriram. Achha, sorry. Internet connection is perfect from my side, Shriram, brother. Acha, okay. Pata nahi. Okay, let's start. So for the outfit India or the company incorporated in India, you need to comply all the information. So if a foreign company is issuing the prospectus, your company is incorporated. Along with this, it is clear that the Ashes Limited will fall with above provision. Now it is clear. Why is it clear? Now from the above provision, it is clear that Ashes Limited will fall within the purview of 379 as more than 50% of the share capital is held by company incorporated in India, right? This is basic concept. In view of above, the company is non-compliant of the prospectus. Accordingly, the prospectus issued by the company is not valid. Voice not clear. Janvi, now it is voice. Now it is clear. Now voice is clear. Or still, is there any doubt? I think so. Voice is now clear. It is right. Okay. Section 388 and Section 38 examiner can ask question from this 388. Now, who is expert, right? Provision as to the expert consent and allotment concept, Section 388. No person shall issue, circulate, distribute in India any prospectus if expert has not given his written consent. Expert, you need to, before issuing any prospectus, you need to take the approval of expert. Expert has withdrawn his consent before registration of prospectus. If you can recall your CA inter part, and same concept is provided in section 34-35 of the Companies Act 2013. Prospectus does not contain a statement that expert has given his consent and has not withdrawn it, right? First point is expert has not given his written consent. Second is expert has withdrawn his consent before registration of prospectus. And third is prospectus does not contain a statement that expert has not given consent, has not withdrawn. Means expert consent should be there. Expert statement is deemed to be included in the prospectus if it is contained in any report or a reference to the same is given, right? If any report or reference, if any same is provided, then that is necessary. So this is your section 388. Now move towards the study material part, 388, provision as to the expert consent and allotment. According to this section, so this is your expert consent. No person shall circulate, distribute, or issue any prospectus offering the subscription of securities of a company incorporated outside India, whether the company has or has not established or whether formed or will not establish a place of business in India. First point, you need to provide the expert, and it should be clearly mentioned that expert has not removed his consent, withdraw his consent. Right? For the purpose of this section, a statement shall be deemed to be included in the prospectus if it contains a report or a memorandum appearing on the face by incorporating that expert consent, right? So this is your section 388, right? 380 is important point as far as examination is concerned. 389, registration of prospectus, right? The registration of prospectus 389. Before issuing, distribution, circulation of prospectus, foreign company shall deliver to the ROC, certify copy of prospectus, state on the face of it that it has been delivered, expert consent under section 380 is attached to the prospectus and such other document as may be prescribed. Copy of prospectus shall be certified by chairperson of company and two other directors of company. You need to provide copy. Such other document as per Rule 11. What extra you need to provide? First, expert consent for issue in the prospectus. Like expert is okay. Copy of contract or memorandum for appointment of MD manager giving full details. Copy of underwriting contract. Copy of power of attorney, POA, who is holding the POA if prospectus is signed by authorized agent or director. Copy of any material contract other than those entered in the ordinary course of business within last 2 years that also needs to be provided, right? So you need to provide all the information along with this document, right? For the purpose of registration of prospectus. First point is expert consent. Second point, copy of memorandum means copy of manager MD contract copy, underwriting copy, power of attorney and copy of any material contract other than those entered in the ordinary course of business within last 2 years, right? So this all documents you need to provide, and this is the important point. Copy of prospectus shall be certified by chairperson of the company and two directors of the company. This is not or, this is and. So that person is going to sign. So this is your section number 389. This is your section number 389. So is there any query till date for section 389? Is there any query? Is there any query till section 389? Okay. So this is your, just a minute. We will do one thing. We will first finish up the question of 387. Okay, that question we already completed. So question 387 under the, what are the particulars required? Okay. 389 registration of prospectus. Chang Limited, a company incorporated in Singapore, proposes to May 18 question, right? Just a minute, Kaushiki, 388.3 in chart. Okay. $388. Okay, so first doubt is 388.3 in chart. Okay, so 388 talks about like you cannot issue any prospectus unless there is a statement provided by expert. First point. Expert has not given his written consent. You cannot issue any prospectus. This is first point. Second, after issuing his consent, you need to mention that expert has not withdrawn his consent before registration of prospectus. Their first case is what? Expert has not provided any consent. You cannot issue the prospectus. Second case is what? Expert has provided his consent, but later on he can reveal that from the document like company is having a fraud transaction or they have a fraud intention. So he withdraw his consent. So you need to mention expert has withdrawn his consent before registration of prospectus. So accordingly, you cannot issue the prospectus. Third point, prospectus does not contain a statement that expert has given his consent and has not withdrawn. Means you have not mentioned. It means without expert consent statement, you cannot issue any prospectus. Okay. 387 talks about the like if a company wants to issue a prospectus, what all information they need to provide in the prospectus that is mentioned in section 387. So first point talks about like for the issuing a prospectus, it should be dated, it should be signed. Second, you need to provide the certain information in the prospectus. Like first point, under which law that your company was incorporated, Indian address where I can check the documents, date and country of incorporation. right? Address of the and along with this section number 26 information. Okay. 387, just a minute. So this is a theory question. What are particulars required for incorporating a prospectus to be issued by the existing company? Same information you need to provide. Constitution documents of the company, law under which the foreign company is incorporated, the place in India where draft copy of law is kept in English language, you need to provide this information. And before this, 380, Ashes Limited, we already done this. Okay. Now, 388, 389, sorry. Chang Limited, a company incorporated in Singapore, proposes to issue prospectus offering its securities in India. The company has no established place of business in India. Perfect. The officer in charge of the issue of prospectus in India seeks your opinion regarding the provision relating to registration of prospectus under the Companies Act. List out the documents. And you need to provide that information, that documents also. Okay, so this is your section number 389 question. MCQs part. Okay, so for 384 MCQs question number 22, the provision contained in section dash of the Companies Act shall not apply to a foreign company. 77 to 87, 206 to 229, 43 to 70, 135. Which section is not applicable to foreign company? Question number 22. Question number 22. (77 to 87, 206 to 229, 43 to 70, 135. Which is not applicable? And this is good one, right? So correct answer is 22C. C is the correct answer. 43 to 70 will not apply to foreign company. Okay. Every foreign company shall prepare an annual return. 22C. Perfect. Every foreign company shall prepare an annual return in form number dash and file it with the registrar within dash of end of financial year. Important one also. What is the correct answer of question number 23? First option FC3 30 days. Second option FC3 60 days. Third option FC4 30 days. FC4 60 days. A, B, C, D. 23 का correct answer. What is the correct answer of 23? Correct answer of 23. Okay, so all are correct. Oh. Mansa. It's FC4 60 days. Janvi perfect. Koshki perfect. Shriram perfect. Okay, FC4 60 days. So 23D is correct. Dating of prospectus 387. Okay. Where a company incorporated outside India proposes to offer securities in India, the prospectus issued for such purpose need not contain the particulars with respect to the instrument constituting or defining the constitution of the company, the enactment under which the company is incorporated, the particulars of opening, closing of the branches in India on earlier occasion, the date and country of incorporation, which is not required. 24. Obviously, yeah, simple one. 24C, Shriram, you saw the answer, I think so, during a scroll down. Okay, so 24C is correct because we have read this A, B, and D in the section part also. Okay, so 24C is correct. 389. Where this is important one, right? Where a company incorporated outside India proposes to offer securities in India, the prospectus issued for such purpose shall be certified by whom? First, chairman of the company, two directors of the company, C, either A or B, D, both A and B. So 25th, which is the correct one? 25th, A, B, C, D. Perfect. Janvi perfect, Kaushiki perfect, D is the correct. Remember this thing, examiner can ask a question from this silly line. Okay, now moving towards the next section. I think so that MCQs helps you retain or for further understanding also, right? Now, what is IDR? What is IDR? Okay, yes, Kaushiki, go ahead with your doubt. I have a doubt in question number 24. What kind of doubt? Question number 24. Question number 24 is simple, right? 387. Go to study material. Go to 387. Okay, so you will get the information. Like you need to provide that information. This information is required. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is no concept of opening and closing of branches earlier on occasions. I think so, Kaushiki, your doubt is clear, right? Okay. So section 390, what is IDR? If an Indian company wants to raise a money from outside India, from America, so they will issue ADR. Other than America, they will issue GDR. Now, if a foreign company wants to raise a capital from India, so they will issue a IDR. Process remains the same, concept change. IDR are instruments which are in the form of receipts created by domestic depository in India, authorized by a company incorporated outside India. Perfect. Concept of IDR in simple language, right? Foreign company wants to raise fund from India. Therefore, it issues shares to the depository NSDL, CDSL. In India, there are two depositories, NSDL and CDSL, right? Such depository keep the shares of the foreign company itself, and for this they will issue a IDR to the Indian investor. Such investors' money is invested in IDR, which is ultimately central government can make rules for offer of IDR, manner in which IDR shall be dealt in a manner of sale, transfer, transmission of IDR, requirement of disclosure in prospectus. So government can make a different rules with respect to this section of IDR. Shriram, sir, notes not found. Which notes? This charts. Shriram, this notes. You have a 4 type of notes, right? First one is charts, already uploaded. Second one is study material. You can download from the website, ICI website only. Okay. Third is MCQs, and fourth is question bank. I am using all the 4. Okay. Now, there is a section called 391. Now, what is the logic of 391? There is a section 34 to 36, and 34 to 36 talks about the penalty part. If your prospectus contains any misstatement, and this is a serious misstatement, then the person who issued the prospectus, director, person authorized, and each and every person, they are liable for criminal liability, section 34. 35 talks about the civil liability, and 36 talks about the personation part. Provision of 34, 36 shall apply to issue of prospectus by company incorporated outside India. Means that section also applies to foreign company also. Issue of idea by foreign company, again you need to comply. There should not be any misstatement in the prospectus. If there is a misstatement, then you are guilty under section 34 to 36, subject to the provision of section 376. Now, section 376 is out of the league section. That section does not belong to the foreign company family. What the section says that the provision of the chapter 20, that is called winding up, shall apply for closure of place of business of a foreign company in India. Now, suppose your foreign company ceases to be a place of business in India. In that case, that company will not be treated as a foreign company. So now the winding up will start of this company. So law has clearly, if it is were a company incorporated in India, in case such foreign company has raised money through offer or issue of securities which have not been repaid or redeemed, right? In that case, the company will be winding up as if the company incorporated in India. If you have raised and you have not repaid the amount of Indian persons. 34, 35, 46. Criminal liability for misstatement prospectus, civil liability for misstatement prospectus, punishment for fraudulenting, inducing person to invest money, right? And 392 is most important for you. 392 talks about the penalty part, right? If a person contravenes the provision of this chapter, then minimum 1 lakh, maximum 3 lakhs, 3 times. In case of continuing offense, 50,000 per day. This is the person. And this is the any officer of foreign company defaulting shall be punished with fine 25,000 to 5 lakh rupees. 392 punishment part. Okay. If you can go to there, 387. 388. This was expert concept. Registration of prospectus, we already checked out. IDR, what is IDR? Simple concept. This is 391. And this is penalty part, right? Penalty part is the punishment for contravention further on defaulting company in the range of 3 lakhs to 1 lakh. Okay. So if any person contravenes the provision of foreign company shall be liable. In that case, this is a foreign company penalty, right? 1 lakh to 3 lakh rupees. And if it is continued, in case of continuing default, additional fine on the foreign company, that is 50,000 rupees per day till the default continues. And in case of a person, officer of default, right, then there is 25,000 to 5 lakh rupees, right? And you need to remember this penalty part. Company failure to comply with the provision of this chapter not to affect the validity of contract, section 393. And this section provides for protection to outsiders. If a company fails to comply with the provision of this chapter, it shall not affect validity of any contract entered into a foreign company. And this gives the protection to outsider. Why this section is introduced? To give the protection to outsider. Company may be sued. You can file a case on the company. Company cannot claim any set off, make any counterclaim, institute any legal proceeding for this contract transaction until it has complied with the relevant provision, right? This you need to remember. So this is your section number 393. First point is validity of any contract entered into by the foreign currency that will not get affected. You can file a case on the company. And there's a drawback on the company part. Company cannot claim any set off, make any counterclaim, institute any legal proceeding. This is not at all allowed. Section 376. I already told you this is a out of league section, right? Section 376 not belongs to the foreign company family sections. Right? Power to wind up foreign company, although dissolved. Where a body incorporated outside India, which have been carrying on a business in India, ceases to carry on the business in India, then it may be wound up as an unregistered company because you are not incorporated under the Companies Act, which deals with company authorized to register under this act, notwithstanding, in spite that the body corporate has been dissolved or ceased to exist, other law, country order, it was incorporated. Now, if any person trade or carries on business in any manner under any name, title, description of a foreign company registered under the Companies Act, that person or each of those persons shall, unless duly registered as a foreign company, liable to be investigated under Section 210, and Section 210 deals with the central government as a power to issue any direction with respect to investigation part. And action consequent upon that investigation shall be taken against such. So this is the most important point, right? So this is your section 376. So these are the total charts of this section. Now, so 392, you need to remember the penalty part. And what is penalty part? Over the company, 1 lakh to 3 lakh, continuing 50,000 rupees per day. Officer in default, 25,000 to 5 lakh. Right? So this is your penalty part. You need to remember this penalty part. And this is your 393. Exemption, okay, exemption can be provided by the company. Okay. Now, what is the question? Any other question? Okay. This we already completed. 90. Section 390 question. Examine in light of the provision of Companies Act 2013 whether the following company can be considered as a foreign company. First, a company incorporated outside India having a share registered office at New Delhi. Foreign company, yes or no? Question number, section 390. Question. A company incorporated outside India having a share registration office at New Delhi. Whether that company is a foreign company, answer is yes. Okay. Second, a company incorporated outside India having shareholders who all are Indian citizens. Right? I think so. This is quite simple. Whether this is a foreign company, whether this is the second point, whether this is a foreign company, remember one thing, this can be a foreign company provided it has a place of business in India. Then only that will be treated as a foreign company. If the question talks about this line only, then this is not a foreign company because there is no place of business in India. Third point. I think so clear, right? Second point. A company incorporated in India, but all the shares are held by foreigners. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Absolutely correct. Also examine whether the above company can issue IDR under the provision of Companies Act. ठीक है, ये हो गया first, second, third. You can see assumption is taken right. Okay, so 392 talks about the penalty part. We all can remember the penalty part. Penalty part is in case of company 1 lakh to 3 lakh, continuing failure 50,000 rupees, and in case of officer in default, there is a penalty 25,000 to 5 lakh rupees. I think so. Penalty is clear, right? There is no doubt in penalty part. So this is your end of this concept. Now let's check out. Is there anything remaining? Is there anything remaining? MCQs. Okay. Now discuss about, is there, let's see, is there any MCQs? Okay. 24. Hmm. Question number 26. The provision of section 34 to 36 shall apply to, first point, the issue of prospectus by a company incorporated outside India, the issue of idea by a foreign company, none of these, both A and B. Now, question number 26, which option is correct? A, B, C, D. Question number 26, which option is correct? A, B, C, D. Question number 26, 26C. Why so none of this, none of these? The provision of section 34 to 36 shall apply to Kaushiki for you. Okay, both is the correct answer. C is the correct answer, right? 26C. Shriram. Okay. Now, okay, A, B, C, D, there is a difference, right? So C, both A and B will apply. Okay. Contravention, punishment for contravention, section 392. If a foreign company contravenes the provision of chapter 22, it shall be punishable with a minimum fine of, I think so, yes, option C is below this D. Okay. Okay. So I think you can very well recognize this penalty part. For a company part, 1 lakh to 3 lakhs. For an officer part, in case of continuing part, 50,000 rupees per day till the default continues. And for officer part, it's 25,000 to 5 lakh rupees. I think so. Now it is simple. Option A, B, C, D. So you need to provide the 3 penalties. Okay. So first penalty is on company, right? No. If a foreign company contravenes, minimum, maximum, 1 lakh, 3 lakh, additional 50,000. So answer is 1 lakh, 3 lakh, 50,000. Okay. 1 lakh, 3 lakh, 50,000. 1 lakh, 3 lakh. Okay. Kaushik, perfect. So B is correct, right? Now, 28. If a foreign company contravenes the provision of chapter 22, every officer of the foreign company who is in default shall be punishable with fine. Minimum fine of, maximum fine of 28, 25,000 to 5 lakhs. 28A is the correct one. Okay. Now, question number 393. If a 29, if a foreign company fails to comply with any of the provision of chapter 22, then first point, first statement, any contract entered into by it shall not be valid. It may be sued in respect of contract entered by it. It will bring any suit. No, it is not. Which one is correct? Right? Yeah, remember this thing, contract will not be correct, right? It can be sued. It may be sued. It cannot bring any claim, counter claim set off, that is not allowed, right? So statement 2 is correct. So this is question number 29. 29. So I think so this is the last question. Okay. So we completed 29 MCQs of foreign company. We completed question part, we completed study material part, and we completed section through charts also, right? Kindly let me know what else is remaining, or if you have any doubts, let me know. And also mention whether reading law from charts is good or not. Is there any doubt? Let me know. Is there any doubt? And reading law via charts is good or not? Charts are really helpful. Okay. Just a minute. Ashes Limited means 397. Okay. Question. Which question is this? Ashes Limited, right? Shriram, already uploaded LCC portal. You can download from portal only, right? You need not to go anywhere. Ashes Limited. Okay, this is the question, I think so. Okay, so Ashes Limited is a company. Ashes Limited is a company incorporated outside India. 50% of the paid up share capital and 20% is held by incorporated in India. Means when I am saying incorporated outside India as share capital is held by in India, it means that company needs to comply whole sections of Companies Act, section 1 to 470. Next line. It issued prospectus inviting subscription in India for its shares, but did not state the country in which it was incorporated. This is a mistake. Examine. Is the prospectus of the company valid? This is the first question. Second, what other disclosures in the prospectus are required to be made by the foreign company, right? So you need to, this is the compulsory requirement. You need to mention the country name where your company was incorporated, right? This is the C, the second point. The company shall be incorporated outside India. Place of business in India physically, minimum paid up capital, one or more company. Now, disclosure of foreign company prospectus. In simple term, every foreign company incorporated or to be incorporated company can issue prospectus in India with following compulsory contents: constitutional documents of the company, the law under which the foreign company is incorporated, the place in which their draft copy of can be inspected, the date on which and the country in which the company is incorporated, list of businesses or principal places, right? In addition to this, the company shall also, you need to comply with section 26 also. I think so now it is clear, right? Okay. Okay, so that's all from my side with respect to foreign company. Next class will be of our FEMA class. Okay, then this will be real fun. Okay, so is there any doubt? If you have any doubts, let me know. Shriram, you can download the charts, notes, MCQs from the LCC portal, ICAI. Is there any doubt? Let me know. I think so. There is no doubt, right? So thank you for the patience learning, patience hearing, and asking the beautiful questions, and along with cooperating with me for such boring topic. But we discussed a lot about this foreign company. Thank you so much. Thanks.